In June 2022, Governor Gretchen Whitmer and the State Housing Development Authority published a statewide housing plan for Michigan. Housing targets in that plan call for the creation of 75,000 housing units across the whole state, including both opportunities for homeownership and multi-unit housing. Listen to the Ann Arbor City Planning Commission wrestle with the fact that their plan for city housing growth does not match state targets.
Can we move to the MSHDA housing targets? That was a question of ours and also received many comments.
And what in particular are we targeting? So that was part of what I sent in, which is just to clarify that, or to remove the reliance on these numerical targets, because Ann Arbor is already exceeding what the state's goals are, if I understood that correctly.
I struggle. I think I raised the question in the context because it seems the notion that we are already exceeding it largely, but we are facing the affordability issues we have. It doesn't seem like a North Star.
Right.
So that was the question.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate the challenge here. We are
There's
way
something
under our
confusing about
targets.
the way these numbers are being presented that just don't make
Yeah,
sense.
so the 5,300 units is an aggregation of site plan projects that have been approved or in process over recent history.
It says here 2018 to 2024.
Yeah. The 750 is an average of that pipeline of units.
And so I feel like I would love if there were a dotted line on the bar, on the rightmost bar, to say what's actually under construction, because we know what those are. What I wasn't sure is, particularly because we have the 5,300 units in the pipeline right there, should I add that to that bar? And then we don't look so bad at all.
So there were a
Which
lot
I know
of,
we can't. I know we can't, but that's what, if I'm the public, that's what I'm gonna say.
Why?
It suggests that we're meeting goals.
And we have a 3% vacancy rate.
It also suggests that if we were going to build anything, we should be building single-family homes.
Yes,
And
because
it
that's
also
what the state
suggests
wants.
that single-family homes, that multifamily homes are not for single households,
Right.
which they are.
Which
I
they
mean,
are, of course they are.
gosh.
so it sounds like you feel like this data is not specific to Ann Arbor.
No,
I mean, we
it's a
can-
statement that is worded just the way it's worded. I mean, I don't know how we do it.
You could footnote it instead of putting it in line to say what you have here in bold. Just drop it down below to say that Ann Arbor's already exceeding the state level goals. If you felt like it needed to stay as a reference point. But I just think, for me, when I read through this, I was like, well, if we're already exceeding the goals, then what are we doing here? And
I think if the point is to say, according to this housing plan, we're meeting the target, but we actually understand that to be inadequate for our community specifically, we should just say why that is. Why is the state target not appropriate for us to compare ourselves to? So it's not about hiding information, but I think it's also about not being confusing.
I mean, I feel like the state's targets are completely unfathomable. It's like meaningless. I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, yes, we get these from the state of Michigan, but I think just saying these targets do not take into consideration
Okay.
that a majority of our housing supply is already single-family detached homes, that we cannot sustain any more significant amounts of development like that. And, I mean, I just think we would have to refute the targets to keep the language in.
Well, the point I was going to is, this might be a place that actually does merit a side box. Here's the state housing policy, here's how they derived it, here's how it works, here's why it doesn't apply here.
We're going to go over all that. I want to make sure that we want the reference to the Michigan housing plan removed?
Yes.
yes.